And I'm saying hello to everyone. And forgive me there we are. And it's a little difficult. Am I live yet?
You are.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm going to say hello to everyone. Today is an extraordinary day and extraordinary things are happening. And we're going to get started. I want you to pause and take a moment and be fully present. I'm Reverend Jerry Hobby. I am the spiritual director of Spiritual Enlightenment and Truth Focus Ministry. We're going to have a grand time today. So we're going to start off with our song from John Stringer, You Are Welcome Here. Take it away, Ember.
There is a space in my heart where I find the truth. I find me in you, a truth beyond what you may see now. But when we are one, we bring more good about. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. I see with new eyes, allow and unfold, embrace and let go, trust the flow. There's a freedom in love when you follow your heart. Together we are stronger than we could ever be apart. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Breathe in and out. Slowly feel all that's around you. All that you feel, all that you know. Let it go. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. Yeah, when we unite. Oh, we unite. Yeah, yeah, when we unite. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You are welcome here. Love is welcome here. Peace is welcome here. You are welcome here.
Well, you definitely are welcome here. I'm so glad you're here today. And you know what? I want to send out a shout to all of our Virgos, all of these wonderful babies that have been born, and this week has been really grand and wonderful. And I'm sending out a special happy birthday to my beloved sister. Today is her birthday, and we're going to celebrate in honor of her. And we're also celebrating in honor of our Constance. Today is her birthday too, because she was born September 11th, but she's celebrating every day. She wakes up and she says, "Today is my birthday." So I'm celebrating with her and all of our Virgo babies. So to get started, we're going to bring forth our Cancer baby and our we have a Cancer baby, and I think I'm not sure whether she's a Libra baby or a Scorpio baby, but we're going to bring them forth to celebrate even more. So we're going to turn it over to Reverend Larry and our wonderful practitioner extraordinaire, Sandy Jenkins. Take it away.
Good morning, everyone. My reading today is from Ernest Holmes 365. I prepare for that which I wish to experience. And this is from 2 Corinthians 9:8. It says, and God is able to make all grace abound toward you. And realizing that all action starts with and is a result of consciousness, I prepare my mind to receive the best that life has to offer. Mentally, I associate myself with that which is good, beautiful, and happy. I am increasingly aware of the one presence, the one life, and the one spirit, which is God. Believing that it is the divine intention for everyone to live an abundant life, I consciously align myself with the outpouring of spirit, accepting that all things are possible to the one who has faith. I daily increase my expectancy. I broaden my vision to include the greater good for myself and others. I cultivate faith, keeping my consciousness open to an increasing awareness of my union with good. So today I expect an increase. Today I expect greater joy, more happiness, deeper peace, and a more complete sense of divine power. Today I meet everyone with the understanding that he or she is part of the divine order. Today I gladly and joyfully enter into the inheritance of the kingdom of good. I know that I have life, that I have intelligence, that I live by faith, and I am part of the divine being. Therefore, I accept this life fully without reservation. I hold the conviction that good is the eternal reality, that I live in this good now. And so it is.
And this is Sandy Jenkins, and I am so happy to be here with you today. Reverend Larry, that was a beautiful reading. Oh my goodness, that brought us right into the consciousness of the divine being right with us, right here, right now. This divine one, whose center is everywhere and whose circumference is nowhere. Here we are. It is listening to our thoughts, picking up our vibrations and our intentions, smiling, knowing the best for us, and making it so right now. You know, I am created from this divine intention, from this divine spirit, from this center who's everywhere, circumference nowhere. And so is every person here. So is every person everywhere. And so I speak my word into Spirit's divine law of love. And I know that this is a wonderful, beautiful service today, and that everyone within the sound of my voice and everywhere, I know their lives are improving in their own personal discourse with Spirit, and that this is a wonderful service today. The readings, the prayers of the practitioners and the ministers and everyone and the participants, that they are being heard, amplified, and accepted and embraced by Spirit itself. You know, if there's anything I haven't said, I know that Spirit knows the rest and is making it so and bringing it into manifestation right now, right here. I am in thanksgiving with all of you as we release this prayer to the divine heart, mind, and soul of Spirit. So I release it now. Please say along with me, and so it is.
And so it
And so it is.
Amen.
Wow.
Amen.
Amen.
So much. My goodness, look at how beautiful Spirit is. Now I get a chance to really see everyone that's here in the room. I'm so grateful to be with you. And all things do work together for good. I love the sacred reading and the prayer. I'm so grateful for our practitioners. When things happen in life, it's important for us to have a source that we can turn to. And I'm so grateful for the 10,000 plus hours that these wonderful trained professionals have put in to support. They're like the wind beneath our wings. So we have a special song tonight, day, and we haven't heard this song in a while. Use Me, and it is by Cheryl Renee, a wonderful soloist and a beautiful interpretation of this song. I'm going to invite you to open your hearts wider. This is our song invocation. Take it away, Amber.
Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. I used to think God is the sun, God is the sun, but God's so much more than the earth and the stars and all of creation. God is creator, all and all, leading us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. All that I want you to do is command my hands. What must they do? Command my life, it's here for you. God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator, makes all things new, and God needs us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I shine its light. God needs us to shine its light as me. And use me. Oh God, I stand before you, and here I'll abide, and you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do.
Beautiful, 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 extraordinary. I'm just saying it is extraordinary. That was Cheryl Renee, and yes, we want to be used. And now we have something very special we want to share with you. Instead of soul stories today, we're going to be celebrating next month. We'll be celebrating 9 years as a ministry, and that's a proud moment for us. Last year, we did this thing called a Pixar story. Actually, it's a documentary, and you can actually go and see the whole story and hear the story of our beginnings. I love history, and it's good information in terms of who we are, how we got started, and why we are here, and why we do the things we do. Today, I'd like to share an excerpt. We had Reverend Venetia Wills Lefroy. She came in and she did an interview with founding members, the visionary team, and we have a person in our community, Unica Lester. She happened to be a part of it, and she shares her story about why she continues to show up and what this ministry has done for her. So let's take a moment in place of soul stories to hear, because it is truly a soul story. Take it away, Amber.
Good morning, Unica. Am I saying your name correctly? Say your name for me so I can make sure I'm saying it correctly.
Yanika.
Yanika. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
All righty. I have an unusual name too. Trust me, I understand. All righty. So we're going to start with question one. What was the spark that ignited Seat FM's vision? So what do you remember, or what did you hear people saying about how it all got started, how Seat FM's vision came to life?
Well, I kind of got into the ministry, the church itself, through my mother, because my mother had went to the Church of Science of Religion in Riverside.
Okay.
And I remember that as I got older, my mom and my grandmother passed in 2014. So it took me down a really long road. And for a while, I was lost. But in the midst of that journey, I became a mother, and I knew that I had to get some kind of foundation. I had to get some kind of foundation in different thinking for my kid, something better. And I reached out to Reverend Jerry, and she had invited me to start coming into the church and learning these different spiritual practices just to help me get through daily situations. And from then on, I've been there. I've been in this ministry for, I've been a member for like a few years now, which is amazing to me. I didn't even realize that I've been I've been with this church so long, and I've been getting my kids involved and trying to teach them a different way of thinking as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what sparked me being part of this community and trying to just make my mark, be something of of help or whatever I can do, just to expand this and just have some kind of purpose in the ministry, because I love it. It's done so much for my life, for my mental health. Just with the different losses that I suffered after recently in these past few years. It's just helped me and my family, my kids, so much. And that's kind of what sparked it for me.
Beautiful, beautiful, wonderful. Thank you for that sharing. Because people don't always realize how much this teaching can actually really assist people, and particularly this community, Seat FM.
And that was part of our project for our open house. And I'm going to invite you to join us for our upcoming open house, which is going to take place. And we're going to begin our celebration at the beginning of October. And of course, we're going to have a special celebration and on October 26th, which is called the Unmasking. And today, someone is going to receive a mask. Unica received a mask. We're sending her a mask, and that mask will be sent to her so that we can wear our mask that way. It's almost like a masquerade ball, and we're inviting you all to come and to be there. Bring your mask, and we're going to have a special celebration, not just play with our mask, but we're also going to have a profound experience. So you can find out more, and please go and like us, like the work that we're doing. That helps us to expand our footprint in the world. And the world is in need of this right now. So much has happened this past week. I always tell people if you blink, you might miss something. And sometimes you want to blink and miss some things. And the reason I say you may want to blink and miss some things is because maybe perhaps it is not for our highest and greatest good. Because quite often people invest in things that are not for our highest and greatest good. But you know what I want to say to everyone is we all have a purpose. Many years ago, I have a nephew. He came to live with me. And when he came to live with me, we would have profound conversations. You can always have a profound conversation with anyone when you come from the heart space and when you speak from the heart and authenticity. We're having this conversation, and he was pondering his life. He's a teenager. And he says, do you ever had that feeling where you just don't belong here? And he was lamenting over the hardships and all the things that he had experienced. And what I want to say is there is power. I had a conversation with someone this past week. There is definitely power in our kindness. There is power in our exercise of compassion. Not just being nice, but practicing kindness and being compassionate in the world. Holding the world gently in your arms. Because what I want you to know is that the purpose that surpasses all is alive within each and every one of us. I want you to remember that you are not a mistake in the world, that you are a blessing in the world. And with that in mind, we get to remember that we have a place and we belong. One of the things that I have and I've noticed more and more in my life, this thing of exclusion. What I love about these teachings is Ernest Holmes talks about the inclusivity of the divine that is alive within each and every one of us. So I want you to know that you are a very valuable presence in the world. We often say that there is value in spiritual practice. I want you to also know that there is value in you. If you're breathing, you're hearing my words, I want you to sow those seeds and to remember those seeds because you do belong. Each and every one of us are an important part of the puzzle, this puzzle of life. We have purpose, and it's not because of what we've done or figured out or achieved, but it is because we are here and we are present in the now. Okay? And because of that, you matter. And there is something, and I want us all to remember this. We don't have to be holy and religious. We don't have to be pious. But I want you to know that there is something sacred about your life. That sacredness is the uniqueness and the preciousness of who you are. You are a valuable expression, a divine reason, and that you are a divine reason for why your soul chose to be here in this moment, in this season. And I invite you to breathe. I want you to breathe that in. And as you're breathing this in, I want you to know that you are not missing or behind or broken. There's nothing in you that resembles any of that. You are part of something that is holy. And being part of something that is holy, it represents the complete picture. It represents the complete puzzle. And the puzzle is incomplete because of you. That young man moved through that whole process. Little did he know that he would be called to be a beneficial presence in the world and to anchor the life of a beloved child. Little did he know those things there. So I want us to hold each other precious. I want us to honor each other. I don't want to know your history, your story, all of those things there. Sometimes we lament on those things. I want us to remember that we're part of the thread, the tapestry of life, and that we weave and create a space of wholeness. And wherever you're at and wherever corner you may be in or whatever center you may be in, remember that the garden of humanity is alive within you, and it is in how you tend your garden. So this week, part of my process has been clearing out and doing a lot of work. And the blessing is, I always talk to you about Viktor Frankl. Viktor Frankl says it really doesn't matter what happens to you in life. The question is, how do you respond? And that's an important part of the process of our living and our showing up in the world. That's the reason we're talking about purpose today. And I found this documentary on him. Okay, you guys know that I'm just a historical buff. And this was a documentary that his grandson did on his grandfather. And it was rich. Maybe one day we will put it, get it digitally so you guys can see that. We're going to be showing some movies this coming week in place of Reverend Larry's book webinar, because he's taking a couple of weeks off before he brings back his new book. But the thing is to be true. And what I found out in this documentary, he was really true to the end of that purpose in terms of what he knew his purpose was, which was to teach people about love. But I want you to know that that starts right where you are. Okay? Whether you're standing on a mountaintop or making your way through a valley in full bloom, there's still something rooted within you, and you are an essential part, and you're called to be present. You're called to be here as a beneficial presence in the world. And your willingness to love, your willingness to listen, to grow, to shine, no matter how small or uncertain it may feel, is part of the sacred force unifying all of life. And that is how you contribute in the world. Now, let me give you a case in point. We're talking about Viktor Frankl. He became very, very clear. There was something that was stirring in him. From childhood, there was something stirring in him. But when his family was interned into a concentration camp, he and his sisters were the only ones that survived. He knew that it was important, and it was the thing that moved him forward during that devastating time. He says, when I'm going to get out of here, I'm going to really teach people about love. Well, that opportunity came sooner than later, because the people who tortured him, I want you to hear this part here. The people that tortured him came to him as a source of conscience, as a source of comfort and of affirmation. They would confide within him. When we treat and we're in a sense of separation, when we breed hostility, anger, and separation, when we do all of those things, we also do it to ourselves. Ernest Holmes says life is a mirror. It will reflect back to the thinker what the thinker thinks into it. That's the reason it is important. And I think that it is important for us to understand our purpose, our relevance, and that we are all part of the one, because we live in a reciprocal universe. You cannot give what you do not have. And if you have something, and if you try and hoard it and say this is exclusively for me and no one else can have it, what we're doing is we're creating separation, and we create strife in the world. And so our purpose does matter. This is what Ernest Holmes says. And I want you to open your heart to these timeless words of him. He says, this I saw, or else some inner presence made it known to me. The universe is filled with life. The air, the sky, the sea teem with intelligence, with majesty and might. And deep within me, some subtle inner sight beholds and sees. It comprehends and it knows all. It neither fears nor falter, but answers the divine call to be as one beyond the bounds of time and space, to overcome bondage of the human race and leap with trust, undaunted, free into the deep of the intimate sea, whose waters calm are ready to receive those who in deep faith believe. That's an important part. Ernest Holmes, that came from the call. We all have a call. Now, what I want to say about Ernest Holmes is many of the things we are experiencing today, he had similar experiences. And quite often in these teachings, because we learn a lot, and the world shows us some things, the world outside shows us some things, and it's like, well, how did he handle situations like this? So going back to principle is an important part. So what I want you to do right now is I have an affirmation. I want us all, Amber's going to place it on the screen. We're going to be in support, and we're doing a dance today, helping each other. Amber, can you place that affirmation? Is it available to place on the screen? I want us all to say this affirmation on purpose. I want you to hear your voices because your voice matters. And too much we hear voices, and those voices do not always speak truth. So it is important for you to echo your truth and to live and walk your truth. This is part of the process of embodying. Okay? So we're going to say this. And you know what I say? Repetition is the mother of learning. That was what my teacher taught me. Reverend Larry Hobby, I'm getting ready to celebrate our anniversary. I'm not just talking about our wedding anniversary, but next month will be the anniversary that I gifted myself the gift of looking for something more in life, knowing that I had purpose. So I showed up to get a real estate license, but little did I know it was going to lead me to this point with you. Okay? So we'll talk a little bit more about that. But I want us to say this together. I live on purpose, even when I don't feel ready, and I trust life to use me for good. Let's do that together. I want you to echo it into the room because I want the people that are on our social platforms to catch this also. So unmute yourself. Let's just say it, and we're going to do it 3 times. And it doesn't matter what it sounds like, but this chatter is the chatter we want the world to experience. Let's begin. I live on
I live on
purpose.
I
purpose,
live on
even
purpose,
When I
when I don't
don't
even when I
feel
don't
ready.
feel
and I
ready.
trust
I
And I
trust
trust
life
And I
to
life to
trust
use
my
use
life
me
for
for
good.
good.
to use me
live
for
on
good.
purpose.
I live on
I live on
purpose,
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 even when I
even when
when
I
don't
I
don't
feel
feel
don't
ready.
ready.
Trust
feel
life to
ready.
And
use
I
me
trust
And
life
I trust
to use me
life
for
us
good.
for
even
good.
when I
I
don't
Let
feel ready,
live on purpose,
and I trust
even when I
life.
don't find
to use me
ready.
for good.
And I trust life to
Mm.
use me for
Trust life
good.
to use me for good.
For good.
And so it is.
So it is.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. Just breathe that in. And as you're breathing that in, just remember that you are truly so much more than you appear to be. You are a blessing in the world. Most people forget that, but you truly are a blessing. And when you know that you are a blessing in the world, what happens is the universe opens up and it creates sacred space for you. Case in point, that happened for Amanda Gorman. Many of us will recall her speaking at the inauguration for Joe Biden. And what makes her very special is the words. And I want you to hear the words first, and I'll tell you more about her. She says, and so, and this is just the portion of her poem. She says, and so we lift our gaze, not to stand between, I'm sorry, here we are. And so we lift our gaze, not to stand between us, but what stands before us. Not because we will never again know defeat, but because we'll never again sow division. If we're to live up to our own time, then victory won't lie in the blade, but in all the bridges we've made. What is the promise? To glade the hill we will climb, if only to dare. We're being called to be daring in our purpose, to be a beneficial presence, to sow the seed of good for everyone in the world. Now, Amanda Gordon is an extraordinary young lady. She was born and supposedly had certain disabilities, a speech impediment. But if you were to witness her talk that day, she spoke with clarity. She is a laureate of the United States. She's the first ever to be named that. She received that at the age of 19 years old. That was in 2017. And when she was 22 years old, she created that poem. and she was the youngest laureate, and she performed it at the inauguration. The most interesting part about it was she finished that poem in the midst of adversity that was taking place in the world. She had started it, and then she completed it when we were in the midst of crises, our moments of crises. This happened to be when we had that night of insurrection. That was when she became very clear in terms of who we are and what we're all about. We're being called to rise in so many ways. When I share that with you, that rising has to do with anything that may be going on personally in your life, because we get to remember that we are a microcosm and a macrocosm of life. That was a macrocosm that we experienced. But the way we handle things in our microcosm also impacts the macrocosm. And how we work collectively in terms of knowing truth makes a difference. So you're in a work, and your presence is important. Your presence makes a difference. See, you don't have to have it all together to have a purpose. Amanda didn't have it all together. She was born in one of the places people would say she lived in Watts. She had all these things, and she had a single mom. She had a story just like each and every one of us. I don't know what your story is, but I want to say this. Your story does not matter. What matters is that you are in a space where you can show up and where good can be sown within you. And this is your opportunity. If you're hearing this within me, showing up and being a beneficial presence in the world is an important part, because you don't have to feel spiritual. You don't have to be able to speak and act a certain way. All you need to do is just be you. And being you is so much more than it may appear to be. If there is tension and stress going on around you, and you continue to embrace that, you're in your space of separation. Oftentimes people tell me about all the woes and all these conditions that are going on. Part of the process is supporting the healing, practicing kindness. And that kindness first starts with yourself. Being loving to yourself, being purposeful with yourself, turning away from old conditions, those old conditions which are habits, letting those things go. You practice something over and over. What you do is you create a groove, and that groove becomes a habit of something you do over and over again. And changing the habit is an important part. One of my life experiences on this road to ministry was working as a bank teller. And I remember that I was young, and it was my next job. I started off working at McDonald's, and then I got this job, and I really felt good about myself working as a bank teller. And the thing is, to work as a bank teller, there's a procedure you need to follow. And getting in the groove of that procedure, doing it over and over and over again, there's a sequence to it. And some of the people here, if you guys understand what I'm saying, I want you to give me feedback, send me hearts and everything. But anyway, that whole process was, it was a process. And then all of a sudden, the next thing I knew, they changed the procedure. And when they changed the procedure, I had to retrain myself. And I had to redo things again, that sequence. Part of the process for all of us is learning how to support ourselves in terms of moving forward, moving out of ruts, moving through challenging things. And the most important part of that process is to continue to look upward, to feel a sense of hope, a sense of sacred awareness of the truth of who we are. Quite often, what happens is we become embittered because we keep doing the same thing over and over and it's not working. And it continues to dig a groove and a groove and a groove and a groove into our heart space. And we begin to feel unloved. We feel a sense of dis-ease. Part of our growth is learning to answer the call and to be present in the world. It is letting go of things that no longer serve us and staying committed to certain things. I've been having a conversation. We're getting ready to do this conference again. And this conference is with New Thought, People of African Descent New Thought Group. During COVID, we spent a lot of time together. People all over New Thought came together to talk about putting together a conference, and we went to Unity Village. We did it twice. We're going to do it for a third time in 2026. But we were talking about our symbol, which is the Sankofa. It's this bird. It's looking forward. It's looking backwards. It's facing forward and looking backwards. But that looking backwards is an important part. It is bringing forth that which is timeless, that is tested, that is true, and that continues to reveal itself. And I'm going to say we go back in time for centuries to all of the world leaders that have supported us on this path. The master teacher Jesus, Buddha, everyone backwards that spilled out truth. And we bring it forward into this time and this place. I share this with you because right now we're in a sacred time. We're being called to stand in this truth, okay? And standing in this truth, we get an opportunity to acknowledge the things that are going on. Sometimes our purpose, and I want you to hear this, it can start with a whisper, with the things that seem not to be working. It can show up as an aching to do something, an aching in your heart. Viktor Frankl started when he was a 13-year-old. He heard something that didn't make sense from his teacher. And he continued to stew in it and stew in it. And eventually he found himself in that concentration camp, and it continued to clarify itself. Being curious sometimes makes a difference, and then sometimes it speaks loudly. Maybe perhaps for him it started in a small whisper and became louder and louder with certain things in his face. But he eventually figured it out and began to live even more. But part of that process requires a willingness to stand, to be curious, not to continue to live with the status quo the way it is. I'm hoping I'm making sense in terms of what I'm talking about, because we're talking about being the change that we want to see in the world, allowing that change to manifest itself within us, answering the call for something new and to walk away from the things that no longer serve us and to exercise our faith, our belief in this infinite presence that is alive within us. When we turn to it, it turns to us. So, life, and I want you to remember this, isn't always easy. It does not always fall on a sequential task. You know, we are the story. Joseph Campbell reminded us that we are the story. And so, with that process, there are moments when we feel like we may be crawling. We may have to crawl to keep going. But every step we make, whether it's big or small, it is a sacred step. But when you become clear, and I've learned this over the years, when we become clear about what it is, whether it appears to be a mountain or whatever, the universe will support us. All we need to do is start walking in that direction or crawling in that direction, or maybe sometimes even scooting in that direction until we get there. Reaching our higher ground doesn't mean leaping over tall mountains. Sometimes we do. It often means that you need to just take the next step right there in front of you and just continue to breathe and to press forward. Martin Luther King says, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. And if you can't walk, crawl. But keep moving forward. I love this song. It says, I gotta go forward. I can't turn around. And there is truth in that. Even your stillness, remember, is a holy root of hope, and it can keep you growing. So life is about living on purpose. That means that we get to ascend upward and onward. And sometimes we forget who we are. We forget what we know. We get lost. But purpose is not about perfection. It is about returning. That's the reason that Sankofa, again, is an important thing for all of us to understand. It's about coming home to ourselves. I hope today that this message is going to support you in coming home to yourself. And what I want to say is, it's always about that. And we get to do it over and over and over again, even in our lowest moments. And we get to remember that there is a sacred strength inside of us that hasn't ever been harmed, hurt, or disturbed. And when we're in that lowest moment, that's the thing that will lift us up. It's the thing that will move us forward. We are the beloveds, and we are the beloveds of the beloved. That means that there is something within us that is wonderful. I know the movie now. Forgive me as I digress. But this is a very important point. One of my favorite movies is Cider House Rules. And I love it when he says, look at these little godlings. We are godlings. Okay? So, and I recommend that. I'm off point, Sandy, I know, but that's okay. But I do recommend we put that on our viewing list.
That's okay.
And it
It's a
has
great movie.
has God messages there.
Yes.
And nothing can take that away. I want you to remember that. We're focusing on the things that cannot take things away from us. See, there's a reason for why we're here. And that reason doesn't change, but it is what you get an opportunity to understand. In fact, your story may be the medicine that someone needs. Okay? And when you are ready to ascend, even now, it makes a difference. So I have a special call to action for you this week. And it's an important call to action. I want Amber to put this up on the screen. We're going to work together. And our call to action is simple, okay? But it is an important call to action. I want you to remember that you don't have to save the world. But if you're breathing, you can bring light to the world. Each and every one of you are light in the world. That's the reason we're having this conversation right now. And if you're here on our social platform, I want you to know you are a light in the world. Okay? And if we're truly committed to being more compassionate, kind, and connected and loving the world, then we get to live inside out. I think there's a movie called Inside Out. And what I'm going to invite you to do is to remember these things. First of all, purpose is not a task. It's how we show up in the world. Service is not about being perfect. Sometimes people say, I don't know if I want to be in service. It's not about being perfect. It is about being present in the moment. I have learned so much just by being present in the moment. Prayer is not about getting it right. It is about opening our hearts. And when we open our hearts, what happens is there's a natural process, and that natural process is healing in action. So today, I'm going to invite you to pray for someone who seems to feel lost or moving through something. I'm going to invite you to remember that maybe that it's even, and I want you to consider yourself. I want you to pray with love. I want you to act with courage. And I also want you to remember that your life matters. Right now, you are exactly who you are supposed to be. And remember that, and to exercise that power. We were talking beforehand about the 10,000 hours. We're all at different points in our life. But I want you to remember these are truths we get to come back to again. I've done that. Yes, you have. But the opportunity supports us in coming back to it in a deeper way. This is part of the process of living, and it's part of our healing. So I'm going to invite us again. We're going to move into our effort incantations. We're doing incantations this year. The reason we're doing these incantations is so that we can embody these truths, because everybody knows this stuff and we know it intellectually. But I want to say to you, that's wonderful. Yet, I know that there's a deeper call within us. And that deeper call is for us all to embody and to express this. Because if we do not embody and express it, what happens is apathy. I'm going back now to Emerson. He had a rigmarole with that thought and that presence of apathy. Because apathy exists here now if we allow it and we give it attention. But when we are on purpose and we sow the seeds and understand this thing called life and our purpose and our relevance, we make a difference and we show up as a beneficial presence. So this is what we're doing today. This month is all about mirroring. Ernest Holmes says life is a mirror, and it will reflect back to the thinker what the thinker thinks into it. So here's how we're going to do it. I am going to say my part, and you're going to say your part. Now, the interesting thing about this process is we are mirroring for each other. The words I say, you are going to say too. I'm the leader. That's the way it has it here. And you are the community. So we're going to reflect back to each other. Okay, I'm going to invite you to unmute again. We want to put this energy here into the room. We're going to vibrate in a sacred and a profound way. Okay, here we go. We'll do it 3 times. 3 times is the charm. Repetition is the mother of learning. So here we go. Okay? I don't have to be perfect to have purpose.
I don't have to be perfect to have
That's
purpose.
perfect.
I am here for a reason.
I am here
I'm here
Here
for a
for a
reason.
reason.
This breath, this moment, this life.
this breath,
This
this
breath,
moment,
this moment, this
this
life.
life.
It's nice.
Yes. Okay. I am here for a reason.
I'm here for a
I'm
reason.
here for a reason.
This moment, this life.
This
This
moment
moment,
in
this
this
Moment
life.
of
life.
this life.
I rise with love.
I
I
I
rise
rise
with
rise
with
love.
with
This is
love.
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 I walk with purpose.
I walk
I
I
with
walk
walk
with
with
purpose.
Walk with
purpose.
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 I live in truth.
I live
I
in
I
I
truth.
live
live
in
in
live
truth.
truth.
in truth.
Okay, we've done that first round. Let's go to the second round and we're going to amp it up. I don't have to be perfect to have purpose.
I don't
I
I
have
don't
don't
to
have
have
to
to
I
be
don't have
be
to be
perfect
perfect to
perfect
to
have
to
have
have
purpose.
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 I don't have to I love that part. Forgive me. I am here for a reason.
I
I'm
This
here
am
for
here
a
for a
Here
reason.
Here
for a
reason.
for a
reason.
reason.
For
this
a
breath,
reason.
this breath,
This
This
breath,
breath,
This,
Breath.
this breath,
what?
this
this
moment,
moment,
this
What?
moment,
this moment,
this life,
This
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 life.
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 I rise.
I
I
I
rise.
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 I rise.
Rise
Love.
With
Love.
with
love.
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 Walk with purpose.
I
I
walk
I
with
walk
walk
with
with
Walk
purpose.
with
purpose.
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 Live in truth.
And
And
I
I
live in
live
live
in
in
truth.
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 And the third time is the charm. I don't have to be perfect to have a purpose.
I don't
I
have
You
to
don't
don't
I
be
don't
have
have
to
to
have
perfect
to
be
be
to
be
have a
perfect
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 to
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 have
purpose.
a
have
have a
purpose.
purpose.
purpose. Purpose.
I am here for a reason.
I'm
I
here
am
I'm
for a
here
I'm
for
here
reason.
a
here
for a
for a
reason.
reason.
This
reason.
breath,
This
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 breath,
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 this
this
moment,
breath,
this
this
moment,
This
moment,
moment,
moment.
moment,
this life,
this
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 life.
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 Right.
I rise with
I
love.
rise.
I
I
I
rise
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 with
with
I
with
love.
love.
rise with
love
love.
and
Walk with
love.
purpose.
I
I
I
walk with
walk
walk
with
with
purpose.
Walk
purpose.
with
purpose.
I
purpose.
live in truth.
I live in
I
I
I
truth.
live
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 in
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 truth.
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 Just breathe that in right now. And as you breathe that in right now, I invite you to anchor in a space of unconditional love. And as we're anchoring to this space of unconditional love, I invite you to hear these words. And these are sacred words, and they come from Kahil Gibran. He says, when you are about your purpose, you are flute through whose heart the whispering of the hours turn to music. It is to weave the cloth with the threads drawn from your heart, even as if your beloved were to wear the cloth. And in Corinthians, 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 1, pursue love and strive for the spiritual gifts, and especially that you may prophesy. Or simply said, may love, make love your aim. Viktor Frankl taught us about the power of love. And there have been masters in all of humanity that have taught us about love, its power, its strength. We all return to love. And our most important part, the most important ingredient in living our life on purpose is to allow love to always be present within the room. Allow love to be the anchor within our soul. Allow ourselves to be a space and a place where that which created us continues to maintain its space. It always has and it always will be. Part of our work is to go back to a place of remembrance. I'm going to invite you right now, before we move into prayer, is I want you to hear a song by Gary Linford Lloyd. And it is Love. What is the name, Amber?
Love covered me.
Love Cover Me. I want you to listen to that. And while you're doing that, I'm going to invite you to put in the chat the things you would like me to include in the prayer as we move into prayer. Okay, take it away, Amber.
As time's unfolded me, it has revealed to me life's nothing less than sublime. And with every thought I make, every last breath I take. May I be gracious and kind. Love, I invite you to open up this heart of mine. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred. Guide me to be faithful and strong. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Kindness wash over me. Make me a symphony. Play every note you can find. Make me reverberate, gently deactivate, slowly flow out of my mind. Find me a melody, dance and let my anthem be. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred. Guide me to be faithful and strong. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Love, 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 love. Sing that with me. Love, 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 love. Love, I invite you to open up this heart of mine. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred, and guide me to be faithful and strong. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Love, cover me.
Muted.
Breathe with me right now. Anchor in the space of love right now. And as we move into this place of anchoring into the space, I'm inviting you to allow the presence of the divine to expand itself right where you are. I'm inviting you to allow peace and harmony to fill the air and to express itself. I'm inviting you to be the energy of love in motion, love in action, love as an act of kindness, love as the spirit of compassion. I'm inviting you to allow for this divine presence to be natural as the breath we breathe. And as we're anchored in this space right here, right now, we acknowledge it in a deeper way, in a profound way, and we acknowledge it as the source of our living, as the food and the substance of our being, as the blessing in life and the essence within all of our interactions. As we're recognizing the power of love, as we're recognizing its healing properties, as we are aware of this consciousness and this presence of light, I'm inviting you right now to breathe, to acknowledge its presence. And as you're acknowledging this presence, I invite you to allow room for healing. And that room for healing to show up as the truth of being everywhere. So I acknowledge this truth right now, right within all of our Virgo babies, and I'm bringing them here into this sacred space. And in particular, I acknowledge it within Tekla, I acknowledge it within Constance, Dinah. I acknowledge it in Annetta, I acknowledge it within James. I'm acknowledging it right now within Philip, and of course, we acknowledge it within Billy. I acknowledge it within Susie, and I'm acknowledging it in Tiffany. And as I'm acknowledging this presence there within each and every one of these beloveds, I know that it extends. And in this space of extension right here, right now, I just allow for the presence to shine forth. We know it's right where Ross is. We know it to be right where Kathy is and Patrick. We're acknowledging it within all of her beloveds. And we're acknowledging that same power right now, everywhere. I acknowledge it within Alfred. I'm acknowledging this presence right now for every center for spiritual living. All of our new thought centers everywhere. I'm acknowledging it within every church, mosque, synagogue, all the temples. I'm acknowledging the unification of the one. And as I acknowledge that unification of the one, I acknowledge the blessing of the infinite everywhere. And knowing that this energy of love is a balancing presence. It is a clarifying presence. It is divine wisdom fulfilling itself on all levels and all ways. That it is the blessing of life. And as I acknowledge that blessing in life, I know that those things that are not representative of love simply fall into its native nothingness. I'm acknowledging this presence right now as the divine presence unfolding and rising, the transforming energy, where the energy of intimidation falls into its native nothingness, and where peace fulfills itself and is lifted up, creating a space for wisdom and understanding. I acknowledge the presence of the divine as the voice of truth, the voice of safety, a sanctuary which creates a space of hope, possibility, life giving of itself. I'm acknowledging this creative element where divine love continues to fulfill itself again and again and again. And what I'm knowing about this presence is it reveals itself in every possible way. I know that it reflects in our body temple, releasing all the things that no longer serve, anything that indicates or contradicts the presence of the divine. We allow the healing factor, the healing properties to expand itself and express itself. I acknowledge the same presence as the energy within the body of all of our affairs. That includes our household, peace and harmony. It includes balance and order. It includes our sacred relationship with ourselves and with others. It is that divine presence that fulfills itself and it is enlivened within our finances, within our bank accounts. It is that divine presence that reveals itself, and we think of it as the divine lilies of the field. That's what I know abundance and the richness of life is about. And it shows up in a practical way all around us. All of our needs are met. And I know that in this presence, I know that there is a soul fulfillment, soul satisfaction. For we live our lives on purpose. And that purpose which we bring is a gift of life that fills each and every heart with joy. I'm giving thanks for the song, the lute of life unfolding and expressing itself right here and right now. The glory, the essence of the divine being, the beauty, the clarity, the peace, that healing energy. And so, in this space right here, right now, I'm giving thanks right now for each individual that is engaged in this prayer, knowing that each one is a tipping point in the world for good, knowing that each one is a representation of hope, that which we have all been looking towards and looking for. I'm giving thanks for the releasing and the letting go of the mantle of fear. I'm giving thanks for I know that something courageous has ignited itself within all, fulfilling itself in a grand way, and that sacred blessings unfold all around us. So, in our mind's eye right now, I simply know that every single person is contributing to this good. And I'm giving thanks for the visions, the ideas. I'm giving thanks for the thoughts of all that have came into their consciousness. And I'm giving thanks for the purification. I know that in this very moment, the healing has already taken place, that there is a divine realization, and that divine realization is of good. The good that we all ought to have, and the good that is unfolding as we speak. I'm giving thanks for our turning to this good. And I'm giving thanks for the healing, that freedom, the release of bondage as this good expresses. So it is in this space of sacred awareness that I'm inviting you all to join me right now by simply unmuting yourself and echoing these words right after me. And so it is.
And so it
And
is.
so it
And
is.
so
Now
it is.
it is.
And
Now it
now
And
it
is.
so it
is.
is. Now
Amen,
it is.
amen, and
Amen.
ashe.
Amen.
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 Ashe.
Amen. And
Ashe.
Ashe.
How blessed are we?
How blessed are we?
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm thanking you all for being here today. I'm thanking you for the gift of life. There are a lot of things that are going on in our community. I want you to hang in there a little bit. I'm going to announce the recipient shortly of our mask. But before we do, I want you to hear about all the great things that are happening, because if you blink, you might miss something. So take it away, Amber.
I'm Reverend Larry Hobby, greeting you from the heart of the Valley of the Sutter Buttes, or as the stewards of this sacred land lovingly say, the Sacred Buttes. It's September, and that means it's coffee and tea time. The beginning of fall is upon us, a new season, a time of harvest,
and an invitation to slow down, sip something warm, and reflect on all that's blossoming in our lives and in our beloved community. Fall reminds us that transformation is natural. The trees begin to let go, not with sorrow, but with grace. What are you ready to release this season? What wisdom are you harvesting from your spiritual journey? As the winds shift, let's gather together in spiritual connection, heart-centered joy, and community uplift. Let's take a moment to look at what's happening this season in our spiritual enlightenment and truth-focused ministry community. Kathy Schoner is lighting up our hearts every month with heartfelt inspiration. This month's theme, Inspiration for the Journey, Peace for the Soul. You'll find the link to her latest video blog on our Seed FM Gifts link tree or by visiting seedfm.org. We kindly ask you to click like and leave a comment. Your engagement helps us expand our spiritual reach and touch more hearts around the world. World Service Day, Saturday, September the 14th. The second Saturday in September is dedicated to World Service Day for all Centers for Spiritual Living affiliates, including us at Seed FM. This year, our Sacred Service project is rooted in digital outreach. We're raising awareness of our digital footprint by increasing viewership and online engagement across our platforms. And this is an act of love and action, spiritual seva, that supports visibility, connection, and transformation. Our service intention is simple. Share our message, expand our reach, serve the world with truth and love. Join us this Saturday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific Time for a 15-minute orientation where we'll provide a digital post kit, suggested hashtags, a posting schedule, quick steps to amplify Seed FM content on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and beyond. Whether you're a tech pro or brand new to posting, your presence matters. Just one post can plant a seed, spark a smile, or shift a life. Join us, International Day of Peace, Sunday, September 21st at 7:15 a.m. Pacific Time. Hello, beautiful souls. Each year we honor the International Day of Peace by aligning with the vision of the United Nations, a global call to cultivate peace, unity, and healing across the world. At Seed FM, we're proud to partner spiritually through the power of prayer, presence, and intention. This year's Sunday's Power Talk will be a sacred space where our practitioners offer prayers specifically focused on peace in regions around the world that need it most. Your presence matters. As Dr. David Hawkins reminds us, one person vibrating at a high level of positivity can uplift 750 others. Just imagine the impact of all of us holding together sacred space and anchoring the vibration of peace. Be a tipping point for good. Join us in this moment of collective uplift. Bring your prayer, your voice, your light. We can't wait to see you there. October is a month of celebration at Seed FM. Spiritual Enlightenment and Truth Focused Ministry turns 9. Wow, how time flies when you're doing great work in the world. This October, we joyfully celebrate 9 years of spiritual service, transformation, and truth-telling as a focused ministry. We're inviting you, our beloved community, to celebrate with us all month long with powerful events that uplift, heal, and honor the journey. Sunday, October the 12th at 7:15 a.m. Pacific Time, Sound Healing Meditation with Kiyomi Zen-Utopia. We're thrilled to welcome back Kiyomi Zen-Utopia for a special sound healing meditation experience. Kiyomi's sacred sound journeys support deep spiritual alignment, relaxation, and inner clarity. Mark your calendar and prepare to receive. Live on Zoom. Details at Linktree. Sunday, October 26th at 7:15 a.m. Pacific Time, 9th anniversary celebration, Unmasking Our Truth. Join us for a soulful ceremony of healing and celebration as we honor our 9th anniversary with the theme, Unmasking Our Truth. You're invited to bring or wear a special mask symbolizing the layers we've learned to release and participate in a sacred ritual of revealing and healing. This will be a joyful, heartfelt gathering filled with music, message, and community. Stay tuned for more details, special guests, and surprises. Thank you for your joyful giving. Your generosity is transforming lives. Because of you, Seed FM continues to expand its virtual reach, uplift hearts, and update our technology to serve more people with ease and grace. Ways to give. You can Zelle 909-641-1066 or text to give 909-217-3504. Scan the QR code on our screen to access our Linktree with all giving options. And thank you for being a blessing to this ministry and to the world. Beloveds, let us affirm the truth of abundance together, anchoring our faith in divine provision. Say this with me 3 times. Vast sums of money, big, happy, financial surprises, and rich, appropriate gifts coming to me now.
Are coming to me now.
Under grace,
Under
in
grace,
perfect ways,
in perfect ways,
for my personal use,
for my personal use,
and I use them wisely.
I use them wisely.
So let's repeat this, and this time with intention. Vast sums of money, big, happy financial surprises, and rich, appropriate gifts are coming to me now, under grace, in perfect ways, for my personal use, and I use them wisely. Let's do it once more, and let's fill it even deeper. Vast sums of money, big, happy financial surprises, and rich, appropriate gifts are coming to me now, under grace, in perfect ways, for my personal use, and I use them wisely. Let's take a breath and let that energy move through you. Learn more and stay connected. Want to see what's happening daily in our Seed FM community? Scan our Linktree QR code right here and access everything in one place. Upcoming events, joyful giving links, meditations, and more. If you like what we're doing, click here. Leave a comment and share with a friend. Your support helps us grow and serve more hearts around the world. See you soon, and thank you for being a part of our sacred circle of love, truth, and transformation.
And folks, we have a few final reminders before we wrap up. I'm happy to share that we've just completed our journey through Leap of Perception by Penny Pierce, and what a powerful experience it was. Our next book selection is Mind Training by Ravinder and Eldon Taylor. We'll begin this book consciousness webinar on October the 1st, so grab your copy and be ready to engage. Before we dive into the new book, we've got a special treat. 2 movie nights. Movie night number 1 is Wednesday, September the 17th at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. We'll gather in the Expanding Consciousness Zoom room for Heaven is Real, produced by T.D. Jakes. This is Sandy's pick from our Pray Up Clinic, and it's sure to uplift and open our hearts. Now, movie night number 2 is going to be Wednesday, September 24th, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. We'll feature Still Alice, a moving story about a young woman navigating life with early onset of Alzheimer's. It's tender, powerful, and deeply thought-provoking. So mark your calendars and join us for these meaningful evenings and get ready for our next level of book study starting in October. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. I'm wearing my mask, and that means that it's time for me to make the announcement of who our recipient of a new mask will be. So we know Yanika is one of our people that received a mask, and the person we're acknowledging today is Varsha. Varsha was the first person in the room to experience the beauty of life with our practitioner, Jim Thompson, for a pre-service meditation. And so we're going to make sure she gets a mask for that day. And so with that in mind, I'm going to invite you, if you really enjoy what we're doing, please help us with that footprint. Please like us. Please support us in expanding our awareness in the world, the awareness of us in the world. Like us and make a comment. Thank you so much. We're going to close with our song, Let There Be Peace on Earth, and we look forward to celebrating International Day of Peace with you next week in our partnership with the United Nations, focused on peace. We're focused on the energetic of it. We're not involved with all those other things we could criticize, but we're not here to do that. We're here to be a beneficial presence to usher peace and the principles of truth into the world. We know that that is part of the healing factor. I love you and appreciate you. We're going to say goodbye after this song. Take it away, Amber, and dance. We invite you to dance.
Let peace begin with you and I. Every man, boy, and girl, woman across the world. Let there be peace on earth, peace on earth, peace on earth, peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth, peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, peace on earth, peace on earth, peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth, peace on earth. The peace that was meant to be with God as our Father, family said was meant to be. Let there be peace on earth. Peace on earth. How you feeling it this morning? Okay, then this is a simple hum along I want you to do with me. And say, ooh, 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 la 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 la. Ooh, ooh. It's just a simple melody. Feels so good to sing it. Everybody sing. You sound so good. All right. Whenever dark clouds are hovering over and the sun is nowhere in sight, and when it seems like the world is falling to pieces, let me be the one who sheds the light. When this whole world seems mean and cold with no love or humanity, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Thank you.
Thank you. What a wonderful, rich, and very powerful blessing. I thank you all for being here. We're going to say goodbye to our social media platform. Have a blessed day, and remember to visit us at seedfm.org. Find out about our daily offerings. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.